What's going on, everyone? And
Hello, Nihon!
This is the podcast where I myself, Clayton,
And Christian.
And Ehab.
And Preston.
talk about Japan. Well, I think that was one of the cleanest openings we've had.
Yes, indeed.
And that's probably because we're in person together!
Yay!
Yay!
Woo! For what, the first time in 3 years?
Yeah, like right before COVID hit. Yeah, that was the last time we all hung out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It's been a while. We traveled together 3 years ago, and now we're seeing each other in person.
Right? It's good to see you guys. That silence is good. That makes me feel real special.
We've seen enough.
And we're done. It's time to go.
It's weird because we all went to the same university, and like hanging out with you guys 3 years ago felt normal, you know? And then, like, this is the first time we all hung out since then, and it's just like, wow, that's what you guys look like in person. Like, I almost forgot.
Oh.
Like, because I only ever see you guys on the video camera.
Oh.
Was it now? As far as I'm concerned, Ehab hasn't changed that much.
I mean, we've been together.
I was going to say, you guys see each other, like, what, every day? Every month?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man.
We live right next to each other. You know?
I mean, honestly, for me, even though it's been 3 years when we hung out today, it felt like just like back in the States where we're hanging out. It didn't feel any different.
Yeah, it felt like it was just on pause.
Yeah.
And then we finally got to see each other.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's almost as if that unspeakable disaster didn't happen.
Unspeakable. It starts with the, I don't know, C?
Budweiser.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't know.
And today we have a special guest. Can you introduce yourself?
So yeah, the name is Preston, and I've actually been here for 4 years now. I live in Matsuyama in Ehime Prefecture. I'm also a teacher, like these guys right here.
Yeah.
So we're all teacher buddies.
Yeah.
So you said you've been here for 4 years?
Yeah, actually, came here around 2018. I think around, was it August? Yeah, I started doing the JET program as soon as I graduated from college. So, been here for a while, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. How have you liked living in Japan?
I love here, actually. It's really suitable to my personality, I would say. I come from a big family, but for me personally, I've always preferred to be by myself in a way. So, living here by myself is actually quite nice. It's my first time experiencing life as an individual.
Nice.
I'd say. Yes.
Well, one of the best places to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So, like, your adult life, your life on your own started in Japan, what you would say?
It's, in a way, I suppose, like, I've never been away from my family until I've actually come here to Japan. So, I adapted to living by myself very quickly, and I very much enjoy it even till today.
That's really amazing that you were able to adapt so fast, just because, like, you went from that transition of, like, living with your family to living on your own, and not only, like, just living on your own, but, like, in a foreign country, too. Like, what were some of the biggest struggles you had at the beginning?
Some of the biggest struggles, I would say, would just be setting things up. For me, I knew for sure that I wanted to get, like, not inline internet for myself. So getting to that was kind of a hassle in and of itself. I had to, get through an agent and all that stuff. But probably the worst thing about it was just waiting 3 months for somebody to come in and install internet for my
Wow, that's a
apartment.
long time.
I was going to say, you
Yeah.
said 3 months?
I said 3 months.
Oh my,
yes.
with no internet.
I would say I had no internet. I did, of course, had to leave my own place to go get internet. For example, I would have to go to the konbini or go to McDonald's.
Oh man!
So yeah, I had about 3 months of summer without any internet. So that was kind of horrible. But
Especially when it's hot and you don't want to go outside.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You're trapped inside with nothing to do.
I was trapped inside with nothing to do, but in the end, I powered through it.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it was a bit hard to transition at first. What about the language? Were you able to speak Japanese well? Did you have any Japanese knowledge before coming to Japan?
It wasn't particularly hard for me personally because I did study Japanese before coming here. I would say I had about 4 years of language instruction in university before I came here. But of course, after I graduated, it was about a whole year before I had to use it again. So in a way, it was more of a review lesson for me.
Oh,
I had to
okay.
pick it all up again until I got used to it again. But for the most part, it wasn't particularly hard to communicate what I wanted or what I needed to another Japanese person.
Nice.
what were like some of the biggest differences between the Japanese that you learned maybe at school or at your house back in America versus like real Japanese after you moved here and you got to experience it?
It's hard to explain until you've actually heard it yourself, because like listening to what a normal person would say is like, wait, I don't remember learning that. It's like it's not what you would learn. It's not the same things you would learn in a textbook,
Right.
of course. And if you do use your textbook in Japanese here in, so I'll say in actual Japan, people will look at you a bit differently. You're learning Japanese. They'll say those words. You know what I'm talking about.
Nihongo Jozu.
Yeah. Yeah, that comes up a lot. But eventually, you do get used to it. So like, there are some, how should I say, in Ehime, for example, they use words like ken, as in like or stuff like bon, like oh damn, like stuff like that. Or like instead of like iru for like somebody is somebody here, they'll say the oru instead. Even though that's more like a kenjogo, I would say.
What can you tell us what kenjogo is?
Kenjogo is like a humble speech,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's actually normal speech for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so people in Matsuyama are super humble.
No, I wouldn't say that. it's just that's what they would use, of course.
It's a normal way of speaking for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for all of you listeners who are wondering, Japan, it's a relatively small country. It's an island about the size of, I guess you could say, California, but what makes it so unique is, despite how small it is, depending on the region, the way they speak is very different. They have like a lot of dialects and like even the intonation is really different too. So would you say like, I guess the Japanese that you learn in a textbook or like maybe the audio files that you listen to or like let's say anime and stuff like that you watched, would you say the words that they use in that was different than the real words that they would use in Ehime, the place you lived?
I mean, it's not as if people in Ehime were separated from the entirety of like the rest of Japan. Like they all watch the same kinds of media. So if they're watching Jujutsu Kaisen, like all the kids in Ehime know the exact same words that kids in Tokyo would know. So it's not as if like there's like this huge barrier of language. But as far as like differences in like speech, there's very few words that I don't know. I would just say like they would say in Shikoku or in Ehime, but that you wouldn't hear in Tokyo. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
No, I totally understand what you mean. When I lived like deep in the countryside of Yamaguchi, I was surprised to hear like a lot of the words that I guess you would say are like old people words in anime and stuff like that. Those are words that younger people use too. So like for example, jaro, that's like the old way of saying like right, but people just say like desho nowadays.
Oh.
And so going to like for going from like the countryside Yamaguchi to Tokyo, it was really like confusing for me to like which word should I use, like because this is what I'm used to, but this is what everybody uses. So I mean, do you feel that way when you come out to like Tokyo and stuff like that?
Maybe because I'm so familiar with the language in of itself, I wouldn't feel like it wouldn't feel out of place to hear both words used in any situation. Maybe, or like I said, because I'm familiar with it, it doesn't come off as strange. But if somebody in Tokyo only use one version, like if they'll just say desho, and they'll all of a sudden they hear me say daro or stuff like that, or jaro, they're like, huh? Oh, you mean yeah. Stuff like that. But for me, it wouldn't feel strange because I know both sides. So in a way, I'm kind of like in between.
Do you like to use the words of the place that you live, or would you say you speak more of like a standard Japanese? Let's wait.
And this is the song from where the hell are we? Tokyo.
Actually, I'm curious. What can you explain to me what this sound means?
At 5 p.m. every day, that sound goes off to let the kids after school who are playing at the park know that they have to go home before it gets dark, so their parents don't go worried about them.
That's interesting because we don't have this, right?
What?
Not in anime.
I've never heard this.
But we do sometimes have like these huge sirens. sound off at 8 p.m. or 12 p.m.
Yeah, we have like sometimes if you visit like the castle or visit like certain parks, you'll have around maybe 7 p.m. It's like an announcement to
Oh
tell
yeah.
the people, okay, it's time to go home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's that, but I've never heard that before.
Oh.
5 p.m. let the kids go home. That's the first time I've heard that.
I have one. It's like a Beatles song, but I don't know the Beatles.
Beatles song.
It's a Beatles song, yeah.
Usually,
but it's at 5:30 and 4:30 during the winter when there's no sunlight.
Yeah, usually I would hear like was it the Old Lang Syne?
Oh, Old Lang Syne.
Old Lang Syne, yeah. That's what I would usually hear.
May all acquaintance. Oh, we don't have the rights to that.
I mean, you're just using the word.
No, I
That's
know.
fine.
You know, the people
Are we including that whole?
Yeah, I like that.
I do like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
What
didn't
was
finish
the question?
answering.
Do you use the words
Yeah.
of like ehime, or do you like speak like standard Japanese?
That's a very interesting question to ask. Like, I'm not really sure myself. I suppose I would say that I speak standard more often because like that's what I learned. But I do find myself sometimes using like the same kinds of like speech that my students use because I'm talking to my students, so I'm trying to get to this. I'm trying to reach them on the same level.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
So you speak the tween language.
I can. Like, it's not that I should say it's not that strange for me to just switch between those two.
All right. Oh, so code switching.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, nice.
I suppose
Yeah.
you could say that. Yeah.
Nice. I had a question. That's what it was. So I'm learning Japanese, and a lot of the Japanese people ask me, "What's your favorite new Japanese word?" Do you have a favorite Japanese word?
A favorite Japanese word. It's always so strange. Like I always like, what do you mean a word? Do you mean like a kanji or like a word or a phrase?
What came to mind first?
I always use these two kanji, ai to jiu.
What do those mean?
So ai means love and jiu means freedom.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's super cute.
I'm actually really curious what everybody's favorite word is now.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go with you, Clayton, since you asked the question.
Yeah.
Let's skip me because I'll have to think about it. I don't know Japanese that well. Christian, what's yours?
My favorite word is nandeyanen, which is just like a comedy way of saying like what the heck.
And that's Kansai Ben, right?
Yeah,
Kansai
Osaka.
dialect.
Okay.
How about you, Yab?
For me, when they ask me that question, because they usually ask that at school, they'll say like, "Yeah, what's your favorite word?" And that throws me off too. Do they mean favorite kanji? Like, so I have the same kind of thought that person had, and usually I'll answer with a kanji. I'll say my favorite word is shinjiru, which means to believe, and then I'll write it on the board, and like, oh, they're all amazed. Like,
Yeah.
It's a really easy kanji, guys. Come on.
Nice. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Person to say.
Yeah.
The same situation had occurred to me too. Like I would just like, oh, these are my two favorite. I'll write down I, like everyone's I and or GU. Like it's so simple,
Yeah.
But it's a good way to, how should I say, show off to your students or to other Japanese people.
They get impressed really easily.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
You can write the kanji of mouth, kuchi, and they'll be so surprised too.
It's literally just a box.
Oh, but that reminds me, when we were learning Japanese back in college, our teacher would get mad at us for writing the kanji the wrong way.
Oh, the
Stroke order.
Stroke order, yeah. Do you guys remember when Sensei used to tell us, like, no, you have to write it this way?
Yeah.
Like, you just say, it's just a box, right? So, I'll just make it a square. Like, I'll just go one line down, straight, down, left, and then back up. Like, if she saw us do that, she would kill us.
Well, she doesn't even have to see you writing it, because once she looks at the kanji itself, she can tell how you
Yes,
wrote it.
she can tell. Like, oh no, that was not the correct word. How did you know, Sensei?
But yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that. But if you actually look at mouth, like the kanji for mouth, you can actually tell how it's written, because you can see like the bottom parts of the left and right side are sticking out more than, how can you say it, the lower portion of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the mouth.
A lot of the fonts too kind of show you how it's written.
Yeah, they do.
What I like to do is I like to draw a circle, and then just erase the parts that make the box.
What are you, SpongeBob?
Yes, exactly. First you draw this masterpiece, and then you erase it, and then it's the perfect circle.
But yeah, what about you, Clay? What is your favorite?
I think my favorite one would be Daijobu. I say it all the time. Yeah, which means like, okay, are you okay? It's okay. Everything's okay.
Everything's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Daijobanai.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love it. So like, whenever the kids like fall down, it's like, oh, Daijobu. It's perfect.
But yeah, so now you've been living in Ehime or Matsuyama for about 4 years. So what do you do right now? Like you're teaching English, and do you have any future goals?
Right. So right now I'm still JALT, so I currently work for the city of Matsuyama.
Yeah.
it's already been my last year, so I have to leave eventually. For my next venture, I am looking forward to Hiroshima, for example. Thinking of maybe continuing my career there as a teacher. Not sure about the details yet, but I am looking. Everything is looking good to me, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to a new beginning.
Nice.
That's really cool that you found a job that you like and you're able to do it for so long and even continue doing that. Did you know that you wanted to get into education before coming to Japan?
Right. So actually, I did, whether or not I had come to Japan or not. Eventually, I think I would have wanted to become a teacher. It's been one of my goals ever since. Not sure how long, but like I've had many great teachers over the years, and for me, I owe a lot to them for teaching me what they know, and I have a lot of respect for teachers in general.
Nice.
Yeah, and funnily enough, like one of the biggest influences for me is not a real teacher; it's actually a character. You guys know, for example, the manga called GTO.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, that's that Game of Thrones one, right?
No, that's totally different, man. GTO, not GOT.
Well, the Game of Thrones of.
So basically, GTO is an abbreviation for the full name of Great Teacher Onizuka.
Wow.
It's about this like punk adult man who's pretty young. I think he's about 23 years old, and he's down on his luck looking for a job. He's a punk, so he has no how should I say education to go for him. But he finds this great opportunity to work at a junior high school, and what he doesn't know is that the class he's in charge of is actually a very, very troublesome class, like very problematic. We're talking like genius, dark, evil genius level trouble, and it's through his like how should I say dumb but strong force of will that he is able to reach these kids and turn them out for the good. And for me, he's been a very great influence because I think that's what a teacher should be like, I want to be a teacher not like him. Because he is straight up stupid and a bad teacher, but he's got the heart of a teacher. And I think that's what matters the most.
I agree. Yeah. You can be like uber smart, but if you don't work good with like kids or the people you're teaching, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good that you brought that up because for a teacher, there are some who don't have like the best educational background, but I think it's really important to have like the heart and passion to teach to your students, and I think that's what inspired you to become a teacher and what that character had in the manga.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of teachers who are really smart and just not good at teaching whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, like we've had first-hand experiences of those people as well. Within our own education and witnessing others, So.
Yeah. So you said you've been here for 4 years.
Yes, 4 years.
What's your favorite place you've been so far in Japan?
Favorite place? That's kind of hard to say. Like it's like walking through a garden. Like no matter where you go, everything is just so beautiful.
But what's the place with the least amount of bees? Yeah!
I don't know. I haven't seen that many bees in Matsuyama, but honestly, if I really had to choose my favorite place, it would just be Matsuyama City. Like, Matsuyama City just fits me so well. It's not the same level of city that you would see in Osaka or Tokyo, where it's just full of buildings no matter where you go, and like, everything's just a skyscraper. It's small enough for you to walk around, even cycle around. You can go around the entire city in one day if you wanted with a bicycle, and it would be a good day,
Nice.
Alright, so if someone were to visit Matsuyama, what are 3 things that you would say they have to do?
Oh, come on, that's... I'll just have to give out the most standard answer ever. For one, you have to go visit the castle. Matsuyama Castle has one of the original remaining castles, as in these castles were not destroyed or in any way damaged during historical events like the World War. You also have to go to Dogo Onsen. Like, we're really well known for onsens, hot springs. It is said that Dogo Onsen is Japan's oldest known hot spring.
Now, is this the one that, what is it, Sentak no Chihiro?
Oh, Sento Chihiro.
Is that the one that it's based off of?
Yeah, so Spirited Away. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys told me that.
It has that influence, and you can definitely see, like, from the front of the onsen itself, you can definitely see the influence of the building. If you just compare like side by side, oh my oh wow, it looks exactly the same. Yeah, for sure.
That's dope.
I heard it was under construction. Is it still
Yeah, it
being
is.
fixed, or can people go in?
You can't. You can only go on the first floor, I think, right now. But the whole building is being under construction. I'm not sure now if you could, but I remember maybe like a couple years in the construction, you were able to go to just the first floor.
Is this because of all the spirits?
Oh no. No, the renovation has been a ongoing thing for a long time now.
Yeah.
Ever since I came
I
to
think
Japan.
about 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been under renovation. And in fact, the shirt I'm wearing right now is actually
Oh, nice.
a shirt for Dogo Onsen.
What does it say on your shirt?
It says Kanji Reborn.
It says Dogo Reborn. Funnily enough, do you guys know Tezuka Osamu?
The manga. I don't know him. Who is he?
Well, yes, he is related to manga, and in fact, he is known as the god of manga.
Okay.
Why?
There's a very long history about that. Well, we won't get into it, but basically, his company is actually working in collaboration with Dogo Onsen to rebuild it. And
What?
this shirt has his design, or his company's design on it, basically.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
It's pretty cool.
Is that the
Nice.
Phoenix, or is that something else?
Yes, this is Phoenix.
Phoenix,
Wow.
You might not know it, but the Phoenix was actually Tezuka's last work that he didn't manage to finish before he passed away. So yeah.
Like the manga, The Phoenix? Or
Yes, it's called Hinotori.
Ooh.
But
Have you read it?
no, I actually haven't.
Oh,
One of
okay.
these days, maybe.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and then what would you say is the third place to visit?
Third place. Let's see.
The McDonald's right next to Dogo.
There actually isn't one. Funnily enough.
Good.
Yeah.
You can go in the onsen and enjoy a Big Mac.
Oh, there you go. You just.
Yeah,
Maybe. I mean, maybe as a tourist, it's hard to say.
Where's
Because-
that burger joint you guys go to? The one that you brought me to with the guy who loves foreigners.
Oh, you're talking about the cafe?
Yeah.
So there's a, how should I say, a standing bar joint, you could say. It's served as a cafe and a bar at the same time, so it's called a High Five. Really nice guy there named Harry. That's his nickname. Many of us like to go there to just hang out. It acts as a lot like our hub for AOTs, and if you ever feel like, just hanging around, that's probably the best place to be.
Yeah, if you want to meet like other foreigners or AOTs who work in Matsuyama, even people outside Matsuyama, they come and visit that cafe. And the cafe owner, he's very friendly, like Preston said, and their crepes and bobas are actually really good as well.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, he serves burgers, fries. What else is there? Shaved ice. There's
Yeah.
that. So yeah, good place to be, honestly.
Nice.
Of course, if you want beer, there's beer.
Who doesn't like beer?
Me.
Me too.
Same, I actually don't drink.
Right. So, Preston, you've been in Japan for 4 years. It's a completely new area. Have you started to do anything new, or have you gained any new hobbies?
Yeah, a few things. Of course, I've been continuing the same hobbies I have back in the States, but ever since coming here, I started doing karate. I've also started cycling more often. It's extremely safe to cycle here in Japan, and especially in Matsuyama, where it's actually encouraged. So there's that. Picked up a new camera, so I started
Ooh.
doing a lot of photography over the years.
Nice.
And in particular, I like to take photos of school events. So that's always nice.
Nice.
I'm
That's super
su-
cool.
Yeah, I'm super curious. So you said you started doing karate. Are you doing that like at your school, or do you go to like a special dojo for that?
There is no dojo, so to speak. Basically, I go to Bolchan Stadium, which is a baseball stadium, and they have sports floors for the community to use. And the dojo is utilizes these spaces for practice. We practice from around 5:30 to 8:45.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's actually split up into 2 sessions. So the beginner session and like the more intermediate session. But of course, you could just stay the entire time.
Nice.
What color belt are you?
I'm still a white belt. I started maybe 2.5 years ago, but it's been very hard.
It's as if something happened in
I
between
know,
those 2.5
I know.
years that would prevent you from going.
It's crazy. Like when I started, I actually got invited to go to a friend of mine who is a teacher at high school to practice with the students there.
What?
But it was only a few months in before Corona hit. So yeah, a lot of things just went down by the wayside, and I couldn't go to karate as much as I could have wanted to.
Right.
All right. Well, Preston, is there any kind of words of wisdom or words of encouragement you would give to someone who is thinking about coming to Japan, or maybe they want to take that next step like you did and move out here? What would you tell them?
It's kind of strange. It's kind of paradoxical, but just hear me out. I always tell anybody who's looking to come here or who is already here to have zero expectations. That's kind of strange to hear, but I don't mean to have like no expectations. I just mean to have like to start from zero.
Mm.
You can have your hopes, of course. You might be looking for something, but when you come to Japan, things might not come out. Things might not be what you had thought they were as you've seen in certain media like anime, dramas, or maybe from what you heard of other people. And I think this is a genuine way to experience a new country, no matter where you go. It's not just Japan, of course, because you're experiencing it from your own preconceived notions of what Japan is.
Right.
And I think the best way to experience a country, especially a country like Japan, is to see for yourself and think back to yourself. What do I feel? What do you feel about this event? What do you feel about this experience? Is this right for you? Is it wrong for you? Yeah.
I think that was worded really nicely. Yeah, especially because like a lot of foreigners who come to Japan, they don't know where in the country they're gonna go. Because like a lot of English teaching jobs, which I think a huge majority of the people come here doing, they could put you anywhere in Japan. And one thing I really like about Japan is how each region really has its own culture that makes it unique. So, yeah, 100% I agree with what he said.
Yeah, I mean, we are living examples. Each one of us live in different areas. I mean, except for me and Preston, but
we are all so far.
Yeah.
We're far away from each other.
actually.
Right.
So, yeah, so go on with zero expectations and just, enjoy the ride.
I couldn't disagree more. I've been living the anime lifestyle since I've landed in Hokkaido.
Wow.
It's not
Yeah.
so many powers and stuff. It's crazy. No, I
How
couldn't
many
agree
worlds
more.
do you
Pokemon
travel
and
to?
I
Ninja.
can't tell you. Pokemon. The one thing I wanted to do when I came to Japan was go to a festival. It's been almost 3 years, and there have been no festivals.
Yeah.
Come in with zero expectations, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to come to Japan before Corona happened, and I saw these festivals. I truly did enjoy them, and after all these years of not having them, we've slowly come to the point where it's okay to just have them again. And it's just as I remember them, like it's a place where people all can be festive together, enjoy the night together, eat some food by the stalls, and look at the fireworks as they blow up in the sky at night.
Ugh, someday
Someday.
I'll see it.
You've
I'm
seen
sorry,
fireworks,
Clayton.
haven't you?
Oh, that's not what I mean.
What more do you want?
The food.
You're expecting too much.
I'm
joking.
Going zen.
But yeah, here's to more festivals happening in Japan. Hopefully even the winter festival happens again in Hokkaido.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, I would love to go to the snow festival.
Right.
So.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show, Preston.
Yeah. It was great.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Anytime.
All right, Clayton, let's wrap things up.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you want to, you can find us on all social media under Helen and Hone Pod. Don't forget to follow us, and if you feel like it, go ahead and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. But until next time, bye.
See you later, guys.